Hello everybody! Happy holiday weekend. Hello, big shout out to Kaya, my granddaughter, who just got a 3D pen. Maybe you can learn some techniques here, even though I'm a beginner at it. Hello, James. Mr. Flying your drone around kind of guy. You see the hippie smoke behind me and around me? That's insect repellent bug incense. So I'm outside today. Got my coffee, sitting outside. How's everybody doing? Hello, Melissa. And because it's such gorgeous weather, I decided at the last minute I'd go ahead and do this today because it's so pretty out. I don't want to be inside. So I'm getting my 3D pen warmed up here. So I'll give you a little bit of background on this. I am working on a concertina book. Stop. Do that. Don't be troublesome. And so I'm for one of my YouTube videos, I wanted to do a concertina book about the coyote visits I've had to my yard, the coyote who's kept me awake many, many nights. And as you can see, I've got sketches here and thoughts when the coyote would come running through the yard and howling and just keeping me awake. And I think the one thing that I just kept wondering was, why is she howling so much? And you can tell the difference between a female and male coyote. The female's a little bit higher yipping sound and the male is lower. I've got a coyote collar and I've tried that before, and seems like I would get different kinds of responses from different animals. And so I just have been calling her Coyote Woman. This Coyote Woman just keeps running around yelling and yelling just for everybody to hear her yapping. And I don't know if she has pups. I have no idea, but I only hear the single, the one coyote. Every so often, very rare, I'll hear a group, but it's been a long time. Now maybe she does have pups, I'm not sure. I've not seen any sign, but I think she's deep further back in the woods on other property. But I've had the game camera out to try to see if I could catch her on there. So I wanted to do a concertina book, and this morning I put together this faux book, a slit concertina that I had wanted to help interpret what I want to say about coyote. Now I have all my notes, everything that I've thought and heard, and the times and the sounds of her bark. I've recorded this coyote woman's voice and the times that she's howled, and I think the book is going to be, it's like, why are you howling? You know, why are you making all that noise? Do you just want everybody to hear what you have to say? So what's going on? And so I wanted a book, and I love accordion books, and I do accordion books with kids when I go into schools. And so, so I wanted to use that to kind of symbolize the trail and going through the woods. So there is an accordion book that has 2 mountains and 4 valleys. You can see the dropping in there. And then the other piece has 2 mountains, not 3, and 3 valleys. And so I cut out the center of the one you can see there, and wanted to cut out the center so I could have the coyote leaping. So this is just kind of a mock-up model, so I know how to do when I go to use really nice paper, either that I've made or stuff that I've bought, but it's going to be things that I've made. So this is my model. This is where Coyote is going to run through, and then I'll get some covers put on it. But so being summer, getting outside, I can make lots of messes, and so I'm working with some paper making as well. And just got myself a little blender, had some Kohl's cash, and picked up a blender, and figured just get a cheap one because it'll probably destroy the blades, grinding paper pulp down. So enough chatting. I am getting my 3D pen. This is my pen, and getting this warmed up so I can use it. The filament goes in here. This is the Mint, 3D Mint, M-Y-N-T. It's an affordable pen. I wanted to try it. I had a 3-doodler and for kids, and I really liked it. And oh my gosh, if you draw and you like to draw, 3D pen is so much fun. You're gonna love it. This is my filament. I like this because it has the filament in hoops and coils, and it just feeds right into the pen. And where the 3-doodler for kids has a stick, and you just have to keep feeding sticks into it. This I like because I can pull the I can back out the filament and use it again, so I can stop, start as often as I want. I want to first make sure that the end of the filament, there we go, is flat. And you might see there it's got a little bit where it melted and like a little hair. We want to get rid of that. So since I want to hang on to my filament and have little waste, just teeny tiny cut so it's flat across the top, and then I stick it into my pen. The pen should be warmed up. Okay, it's warming up right now, and it heats inside. The kid's pen, it never gets hot on the tip, but the Mint that I have here, it does get warm, and it does get hot, so you just have to be careful. And so I'm going to, as the pen's heating up, it's going to pull the filament into the pen. Yeah, I should feel a little tug that it's going, getting the temperature up on it. They do make it's PLA plastic, and that is not as toxic as the other. It's not toxic, it's safe for kids to use. And so the ABS, I think it is, plastic, has a filament, has a motor inside, and right now it's slowly, as I can feel the tug and I can feel it going in. What I like about this pen is it shows the temperature, so it's kind of nice. You can raise it, lower it to get different speeds, and then forward, backward, backs the filament out. One click is a quick burst with the filament. Double click, it will be a continuous smooth extruding. I've got some plastic on the end there that's melting. Yeah, I figured, Kaya, that you would get some good tips from this, since you've got a really cool new pen. If you haven't used it yet, it's fun to play with. You at least had the 3-doodler to play with, so you have an idea with the 3-dimension. As a person who loves to draw, again, this is great. So what I have, while I'm waiting on it to bring up the filament for me to use, is I went and found some Coyote images, and went through, found some pictures, and traced some onto vellum. And this is vellum that you use. It's semi-transparent, and Staples, whoops, there it comes. Staples makes this. It's used for inkjet printers, and I use this for my illustrations. And so I just I just traced the head of the coyote, and I'm going to put it on some plain white paper so you can see what I'm doing here. And traced that face right on there. There's different videos that show you how to go about creating three-dimensional animals and so forth, and they're really neat. You can build up a body armature, and this I just wanted to draw. And so I'll show you the coyote face that I have just from this drawing right here. Okay, so there you're taking apart the animal and you're going to rebuild it. So using that sketch, I wanted to get the open jaw of the singing coyote, her eye, and it just has such a cool lacy look to it, and I wanted to make the outside edge stronger. Hi Penny, good to see you. Now because we're going to have a three-dimensional coyote, it needs to have two pieces, two eyes, the nostrils, all of that, two ears, and the lower mandible, the lower jaw is going to, you're going to need that to build it up. So after tracing out my coyote face, putting the essentials in the nose, the eye, and giving some strength and definition to the fur, I'm going to place this down. And I did bring out my grandma glasses. I might need my grandma glasses. Yep, I did. Just so I could get in close and see the coyote's nose and eyes. I don't have a ton of light out here. So as you like it, it's stylish, isn't it? It's kind of like my own personal microscope. So what I want to do is to join. So I did two faces, as you can see. They're not quite identical, but that's all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to attach one to the other. So here we have the coyote, and it's going to have to be attached. So I think, and I did this with the other pieces, I started with the nose. Of course, now it's got to get the temperature back up again, which doesn't take long because I was yapping like the coyote. And it should be, we'll just double click and get it going. Almost there. Yeah, there we go. And you can hear the motor. And so that loop, okay, let's double click so it's a continuous feed. And there it comes, it's extruding. And you see a lot of pictures that show the filament just kind of standing up, and people think, wow, you know, this is so stiff that it will actually stand up. Well, no, you've got to let it cool a little bit. So there we go. I've just joined the nose. Now there's some, and then it'll cool. And what's nice is it can be shaped. And Kaya, with yours, you've got little wood burning tips, and you just have to make sure it's not too high of heat. And you can use a wood burning tool. There we go. I have the line going down. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard angle there. All right, let's get it going. There we go. And so I can take and pull that strand out, attach it to the other, and let it cool. And at the point where it's still warm, you can move the filament up and give it some depth. And this is just the beginning structure to your skeleton. So You love it with the smoke rolling in front of me here. Hey, it's keeping the mosquitoes away. When you have an outdoor office, you gotta figure out how to deal with the mosquitoes. So I find that by drawing two profiles and joining it is a good way of making your creature. Oop, there we go. And then as it's cooling, it's going to extrude a little more, and then I just kind of like lay that across so it gives some stability. And you can see where it's starting to join the snout. Hey! It's not looking like a coyote yet, is it? But it will. And I'm just a beginner with this. There are some really cool videos on YouTube that some real amazing 3D artists. But again, if you like drawing, you're gonna love this. I've always seen the 3D pens and wanted to try it, but I thought, wow, I don't know, what would I use it for? Well, now I know, because doing these books, I can add dimension to it. So it's this extra layer of sculpture. There we go. Let's turn on that motor. So I'm laying that line, the extruded plastic, between the two. I've got my finger in between. And I'm joining the two pieces for the skull. And as the skull widens, I'm widening, pressing with my finger. And then I think I'm going to want to strengthen the skull, so I'm going to give it a good little crossover there. So it's kind of like a spider web. I wanted to do something fun with this because I like doing extreme limits with stuff. And I have coyote body parts that I want to use some paper pulp, because I thought, ooh, that'll be fun. So you can see here my skull is starting to form, and you can just use scissors and trim the little bits that are sticking up. And so you can see right now it's got some dimension to it. Isn't that fun? Let me see. Yeah, you need to get your pen out, Kaya. Get it going, girl. So we're gonna do the snout. And I tell you what, and if you're still watching, Melissa, oh my goodness, you're gonna love it if you haven't done it already. Have you tried this with a 3D pen? It just brings your art to a new dimension, and you can add all kinds of creative ways. I've used it for repairs on things, but to actually build a three-dimensional animal is kind of cool. So you can see here I'm joining the snout and made a little X to give some stability to that snout. So as it extrudes, going on down, and sometimes gravity helps and it will round it out. So by taking and holding the piece, it will just naturally droop. Oh, yeah. Hello, Jen. So there we go. And being a holiday weekend, I thought I am just going to take it easy and have fun and show you the fun I've been having with this. And if you have questions, answer your questions. There we go. We're getting that snout worked out. It seems like a lot of work, but oh man, is it fun. So I can take, and sometimes you can use a tool and lift the plastic. It's just so relaxing, and I've gotten so I will be in the studio working until 10, 11 o'clock because it's so addictive to be drawing in dimension like this, because you see one piece working and you just want to go on to the next area. And if there's an issue, a problem, you can fix it really easily with a wood burning tool or with a lighter. I do have a torch lighter that you can get at the dollar store, but you've got to really be careful because the flame will come out and just really melt the crud out of it. So I kind of just go back and forth making X's. Whoop, grabbed onto that jaw. And just like part of the face right there, I just take some of the cooled plastic and help hold it down. Pretty cool. I love it. I love it. Yep, 3Dissimo. I did look at that one, Jamie. Cool looking pen. The one I'm using here is the Mint, M-Y-N-T. And I think it was, I want to say like $70 on Amazon. And the people that make the pen they do have videos on YouTube. And I can sit there and watch Sanago, the South Korean guy, do his 3D art. I could sit there all day and watch him. He does amazing work. Oh my goodness. What a talented young man. So I can go back and kind of heat this up later and add some shape to it. You can see the breeze is helping cool it down, so I'm getting a nice long strand going across there, spanning the ears. I gotta make sure. Don't want to go all the way up. I just started getting into it. It's like, oh, think about what you're doing, Lori. Patience is the key. You've got to go slow, which is so hard for Lori. Yes. Some of you that may not know. Hard for me to be slow. Okay. So here we have the coyote so far. Yeah, Sanago is very funny. He and his cats. But the one naughty cat in particular, he's pretty funny. And again, like I said, you can stop and start, and like if you want to take a break, you just back out the filament with the backwards button and take out that filament. And you want to save your filament. So as I'm looking at this now, my glasses are too close. I can bend the ear just by warming it a little bit with the tip. I can bring it out a little bit. Make sure I don't do it too much. So you can get a little curve to it there. So how many people are going to order a pen this weekend for your holiday fun? It's incredible. Okay, we're going to join the back of the head here. Getting it up to temperature. Yes, Slow, slow, slow. Okay. And you know, I've always seen that, you know, okay, 3D pens are good for kids for teaching STEAM and STEM, and it's like, well, how, why? But you've got to really think in, you know, dimensionally. You've got to have, especially like with the coyote face, got to be the same on one side as the other. Back of the head is being joined, and now we're going to work on the jaw up front here, and I've got a whole blob there that I'm just going to come up and join it. Again, I'm using my finger as a buffer in between. So I hope you can see this. Glad I've got really good bug incense. It smells good. Lavender. Whoop, my jaw just folded there. Aha, of course it did. So if you have a boo-boo and you want to fix it, like I just molded that jaw together. Just lightly. Also takes off the little bits. The little strings and strands. There we go. Have to spread that job. Yeah, I use Vellum to trace. Because using paper, it sticks to the paper, I find. So I use the vellum to draw on, and I'll show you here in a second. Waiting on this to come back. Okay. While I'm waiting, oh, of course it's gonna go now. So this is the vellum, and you can trace over people, you can trace over bodies, photographs, anything like that, and Sanago does that, like historical figures where he'll just trace their portrait, and I use just plain vellum from Staples that's used for inkjet printing. Okay, getting the lower jaw. We've got the jaw attached. So this is the other coyote body. Hi, Joanne. Time for a coffee sip. Coffee break. All the fumes from the lavender bug incense from Pandora's in downtown Baldwin. Giant sticks of bug incense. And boy, it does the job. I've got my candle going too, but wow. So here is, yeah, wax paper is a good thing, but because I have vellum, I love vellum for illustrations, I use that. So here's my coyote that I traced from the coyote body that I traced from my drawing here. So I went in and did one side of the body, I did the head, and then put the head aside, and then did the body, and put that aside and did the legs. So taking the spine and the tail, having that, I attached that to the head, and then what's so nice is having that vellum is just tracing over the other side, because this coyote actually is dancing with two different legs and in different directions. And then I want to do something special with this coyote. And again, I've got to work on the ear and add to it. What's going on, Blue Jays? So, yeah, I love the spidery look of it, and I want to do something super cool to that. So here's the other coyote body, and this one is howling. This was the first one that I started working on in 3-dimensional. So it's got the open mouth where it's howling, and I can make a finger puppet out of it, but it made it kind of nice to hold on to, and went through and did that method of letting it cool and draping it across to the next piece of the body. And so I've got that drawing run around here somewhere, but I wanted to stop with the ribs. I love how the tail is coming out, and then I'm going to have to attach legs. So this, like I said, I can stop, I can carry it, reuse the bag, Jen, that you sent my Mother's Day card in, and I can put it all in there. It's durable. It's not going to break apart. I can carry it outside to work on it. I can carry it up to my studio to work on it. It's just so cool. Hi, Janet. I'm going to have to get more pumpkin coffee from you, Janet. I went through all that, adding it to my instant coffee. And I'm using my handy dandy coffee warmer over here. So, oh my goodness. Yeah. I've got these coyote bodies just doing all kinds of fun things. What I want to do, and I don't think I'm quite ready yet, but I have a batch of paper pulp sitting over here. And I've seen a lot of 3D artists cover the entire thing. They just crisscross back and forth. And oh, James, oh my God, because I've got this coyote howling on tape. Oh, order me one of those things, those computer thingies. That's what I need to do. Tell me the name of that again so I can get that chip and stick it in the book. And I can't remember for the life of me, because I was going to do that if I got Artist in Residence and the Porkies, but then COVID hit. And so, because that would be cool. But a lot of 3D artists, gotta watch where I'm putting the pen, just like Janet. Gotta watch that hot pen tip. Doesn't get as hot as a wood burning tool though. The nice thing is when the pen is sitting inert, the temperature goes down and it just stops and it drops until you're ready to use it, and then it goes right back up. But a lot of the 3D artists will cover the entire object and make it very lifelike. And with this, I want to paint it with some paper pulp, put in mixed media bits inside the body cavity. And but I think first I want to kind of round it out and work on the spine and get the body where I want it to be, and then do a little hi Cindy, oh my gosh, nice to see you. Shirt burning 101. Yeah, this, I've just got plastic on the desk, that's all. But so I want to have the body where I want it to be before I start working with the paper pulp, but I do have the pulp made because I think I'm going to try some handmade paper later this afternoon, which is very messy. So I've got the ribs. I want the action in the ribs and the tail because that's where all the energy of this coyote is, howling. All of that energy coming in and out, bringing that air into the body and exhaling. So it's gonna be fun. And I think I might want to have a leg there. So I'm going to have to make sure I've got the body where I want it before I start adding paper to it, the paper pulp. But I think it's going to work out because I like the idea of it being like an armature. So, and it's very lightweight. It's so what you wouldn't expect. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my coyote howling face, And the pen is still off, and right now I'm just going to snip some of these little guys off of here and work on it. And I'm not here to try to sell you 3D pens. I just know that for myself, if you love drawing, you're gonna go crazy. Excuse my pouring coffee right here. Hey, it's a holiday weekend, what can I say? Got some good coffee. But yeah, if you love to draw, this is another avenue. Okay. Turn the pen back on, and the higher it goes, the quicker it's going to extrude. So the cooler, the slower it's going to go. No, I can't burn this house down. It's all steel. What are you talking about, Marie? It's a steel house, and I'm outdoors on the tile. I know I'm in the middle of a forest, but yeah, it would take a lot. And like I said, the pen turns off. Here we go. Double glassing it. Got the grandma glasses on so I can see microscopically here. Now the ear is going to be a challenge. So you have to really kind of figure, how is that ear built? Well, let's try it, shall we? And I'm using this white paper in the background just so you can see the contrast, so you can see the coyote as it's going along here. Come on. Pick it up there. Oh no, I didn't even hear the leaf blowing, Marie. It's not at all. It's pretty quiet, just birds back here. I've got blue jays going nutso. I don't know. Okay, we're almost up to temperature. Come on. I get so anxious. I just can't wait. It's in my mind. I want to do it. And now, of course, my nose is going to itch because I've got 2 sets of glasses on there. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. All right. Double click. And we're off. And I'm going to attach one end and draw it over to the other side. And like I said, Marie, this is an exercise in patience, and you know how impatient I am. I get so excited. So I'm just taking that inner part of the ear and connecting it to... there we go. To the head. And then you just start going back and forth and building up, making it strong. I find making X's helps strengthen it. Okay. And when you stop, it cools down. So what do you think you're going to make with your pen, Kaya? Just coming through, creating the ear. Sometimes I wish, I wish I could draw just like those that have been drawing a long time with these pens. Maybe I'll get there. But for now, I like the artistic look of it. Kind of like a filigree with what I did around the face. Okay, so there I've got the ear. I've got that bend in the ear, and I think what I'm gonna want to do, it's like I've got to build this coyote in my mind. There. It is like so much fun, a joy. Okay. And you can take and press it. It's not that hot at all. The incense is hotter than this. Hey Janet, do you carry incense at your store? For mosquitoes? These are giant sticks. They are nice and they smell good. They work well. I think it's because it smokes everybody out. But it's lavender. Ooh, I love anything lavender. Okay, so there I've got the other end of the ear. And I want to add depth to it, so I'm going to have to join it back here. So you're kind of taking the animal apart and rebuilding it. I like the idea that people make little maquettes, which is kind of cool. And sorry, getting it up close to my face. So you can make a body out of foil or tape, little bits of paper, and just cover it with filament. But no, I had to do the difficult way. You're watching this all experimental. I could fail miserably and you would be witness to it. How long does it take to go through a whole coil of filament? Well, I still have a lot of that, and I just used I think maybe half for all the body parts that I have from this coyote. So that's a lot. I thought I would go through a lot more, but because I want to just do the skeletal structure of it and leave space for paper pulp for sculpting it, it's going to require a lot less filament. So yeah, I probably have half of that coil left. Might be a little less than a half now. Okay, so I've got that ear. It's like, don't extrude. I don't want to waste it. So when I see that little bit come out, it's like, get it somewhere where you can use it. So we'll work on the lower jaw. Here's the lower jaw. And then I usually drape a few lines and then crisscross. So drape a few, crisscross, and add strength. The people that make this mint pen, M-Y-N-T, they've got a video for making a beagle. And they actually have the template on their YouTube channel. So if you want to make a beagle, you can check them out. If you want to check out any YouTube videos, you can see my books. I still have the contest going. I need 100 subscribers. Oh my gosh. I've got 49. I was hoping to have 100 by Memorial Day, because I've got an awesome book art prize to a random subscriber. Will I make it? It's not looking good. Not hopeful. With everybody leaving this weekend. I thought, what a cool thing for a library to have summertime book art, especially for summer reading. I watched the Clarkston Library today, since I grew up in Clarkston and used to take my kids to their story time. So they're still doing summer reading, even though it's not summer yet. They're planning on it. Okay. So we're getting the lower mandible. Just think of the science opportunities, learning the body parts, the lower mandible. The lower jaw. So if you want to see this as a finished book, you can head over to the Book Arts channel, Book Arts with Lori Taylor, and check it out. And it will be up there in a couple weeks. You can check out the other books that I've made. I just go crazy over books. The Clarkston Library was I was 9 years old when I got my library card from Independence Library in Clarkston. Okay, I'm going to take and stretch. Stretch. And let it drape. And find a place to put that cooled bit. There we go. And then you just let it sag and it gets that, sorry, you let it sag and it gets that curve to it. I get so into the work I forget to check the camera angle. Work on that part of the jaw. So, if you looked at the beginning, if you were here and saw the coyote skull, the drawing of it, now you can see how it's, share some of that filament over here. You can see how it's taking shape, and it's taking two identical pieces and giving it some shape, putting it together. There we go. And I'm just going to let gravity hold that down. There's chipmunks running all around here. Where are you going? Don't bite my cord. I'm going to extrude a little bit. I see you, chipmunk. And since it's a nice wide area, just a couple of V's to help strengthen it. And the same thing over here, the back part of the head. Kind of reminds me of the Clarkston wolves. And if you do V's, it adds strength to the structure. So those lines that you have coming down. Okay, now I need to clean that tip off a little bit. Getting a little bit gummed up. Down we go. There. Very meditative. And you can hear the little motor in it. And sometimes I just have to hesitate and think about an area. It's like, okay, how am I going to do this? Like the ear, like the legs. And then as you can see, the temperature just starts dropping. And as I hesitate, it drops. And because I don't want to waste any filament, it's going to keep extruding, and I just find a place to put it. Oh my goodness. Any questions? Let's see how much filament I have left. Oh goodness, lots of it. It's tangled around my legs. Got a lot of it left. If that darn chipmunk didn't eat anything. Well, yeah, still got it. Okay, so this is what I have left. It's hummingbird. At least I don't have a red bandana on today. So yeah, I've got probably, oh my goodness, half of that coil left. So here's what I have so far. And again, you can use the lighter to pick up the, as the smoke wafts across. You can use the lighter to burn off the little tiny threads, cut them with scissors. I see some on the ears there. So I can just come in here and give it a snip. I'm done with the pen, so I just back it out. And I just hit the back button twice, and it's going to back out the filament so there's no waste. I always see a little bit sitting there. I'm just gonna dab it, use it. And out it comes. And just turn it off. That's it. Going to cool off, and I just unplug it. This mint does come with a little stand to hold it if you're going to pause. And so it does have a little stand, so you're not burning anything. Just a little plastic stand, which is kind of cool. This is the box. Yeah. And I love it. Mint. MYNT. So yeah, it's already, you know, warm. I have tough fingers, so It's already warm. It's not hot, not going to cause a fire. Go through and give the coyote a little haircut. Hint, hint. And I gotta get a haircut. My hair is getting shaggy. What do you think? What do you think? Fun? Fun stuff. This is just the beginning on it, and so I can get the body of the book and have my images. I might even draw some more. I don't know. I might just leave it at the 3 coyotes and have it leaping through the book, through the concertina opening. Any questions? Anybody there? If you are there, I thank you for watching today on this holiday weekend. And I hope everybody has a good, safe weekend, and be creative. Get out and explore your backyard, see what's out there, who's out there, and do something creative. Head over to my Book Arts with Lori Taylor page. Check out the books that I create, the unusual book arts. If you make your own book, send me a picture and I can throw it up on the video, next week's video. Make you a crow? Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, I could do a crow. So, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. I have fun. I got a little bit of work done on it, and so as you see the gnats, mosquitoes, I think that was a mosquito flying by. It didn't like that lavender. So I will see you next week. Have a good, safe weekend. Enjoy your time outdoors, and stay safe, stay creative, and get wild. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.